Have you ever really stopped to think about the words you use every single day? Well, today we're going to put one under the microscope. We're going to peel back the layers of a word you probably use without even thinking about it and uncover a surprisingly complex story hidden right inside.
I mean, seriously, how much history, how much meaning can you really pack into just one word? Today, we are going to find out. And our word of the day? Natural.
All right, so let's start with what we all think we know. You know, the basics. When you get right down to it, what does natural actually mean?
Okay, first up, the one we all learn as kids. Something is natural if people didn't make it. You know, animals, plants, rocks, a natural forest, a natural harbor. You get the idea. It's the world, before we got our hands all over it.
But then, there's this other meaning that we use all the time. This one's about behavior, about what we expect. Like when we say, oh, it's only natural for you to feel that way, we mean it's normal, it's not a surprise. It's an expected reaction. So right off the bat, we've got two super useful but pretty different meanings.
So far, so simple, right? But this is where our little investigation starts to get really interesting. Because if we look just a little closer at a simple dictionary entry, we find a couple of clues that suggest there is way more going on with this word.
And here is our first clue. It's just this little note, kind of tucked away. Natural is on the basic English 850 list. That sounds kind of official. But what in the world is that?
And there's the question that really kicks off our whole mystery here. What is this list, and why is our word natural on it? It feels like it's trying to tell us something really important about the word's true identity.
So just as we start to dig into that little breadcrumb, we find another one. And this one seems to fly right in the face of the first. This is where the puzzle really gets good.
There it is, another little note right there in the entry. Natural is on the academic vocabulary list. Now wait a second, hold on. How can it be basic and academic at the same time? This is the heart of the mystery right here.
Let's just break this down for a second. On one side, you've got basic English, 850 foundational words designed for super clear, simple communication, stuff for beginners. And on the other side, you have the academic vocabulary list, words you need to know for university-level writing and high-level discussions. So that's the puzzle staring us right in the face. How can this one little word, natural, be so fundamental that it's on a list for beginners and so advanced that it's critical for academics? How does that even work?
Well, it turns out this isn't a contradiction at all. In fact, this dual identity is exactly what makes the word natural so incredibly powerful and versatile.
Okay, let's connect the dots. Natural has those two separate meanings we talked about, one for the physical world and one for behavior. That makes it simple enough for the basic English list, for sure. But think about it. Those exact same concepts are absolutely essential for really complex fields like philosophy, science, law. And that's why it's also on the academic list. It's a word that basically grows with you. And its power doesn't stop there. This one single core word is the root for a whole family of ideas. Words like nature, naturally, and naturalize, they all branch out from this same powerful concept, giving us all these other ways to talk about the world. So let's zoom out for a moment. We just took a deep dive into a single word from the dictionary. What does this whole journey really tell us about language itself?
I think it teaches us this. The simplest words, the ones we learn first, are very often the most powerful. They aren't just for basic chats. They are the actual building blocks, the pillars we use to construct all of our most complex thoughts and arguments. They're the bedrock of how we communicate.
And that leaves us with one final thought. If a word as common as natural is holding this much depth, just imagine what other everyday words are hiding these incredible stories, right under our noses. What do you think you might find if you start looking?